Ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta lost the presidency to William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Nia yangu ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba wale ambao wataendelea hawatakuwa watu ya kunyanyasa na kuibia wananchi. Ama ni namna gani wenzangu? Nia yangu ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba wale ambao wataendelea watakuwa na hiyo roho ya kuunganisha Wakenya, sio kuwaganya Wakenya.
As a matter of fact, the 2022 general election was actually narrowed down to a contest between Uhuru and Ruto. And Ruto prevailed. And Uhuru Kenyatta did not only lose the presidency, Ruto shamed him in the mountain. In the mountain, William Ruto swept Jubilee Party from the political scene. But Uhuru Kenyatta is planning a revenge. Whether he's going to succeed or not is something which we can't tell as at now. But Uhuru Kenyatta is making certain moves in the mountain, which he hopes is going to make William Ruto a one-term president. So in this video, I want us to look at the new strategies which Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to come up with in the mountain. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue. I know opinions are always divided on whether Uhuru played Raila or whether Ruto outsmarted Uhuru. I don't know where you fall. But despite all those, the truth of the matter is that William Ruto is currently the president of the Republic of Kenya after the Supreme Court ruling. That is the fact. But can Uhuru Kenyatta manage to make him a one-term president? That is what he's trying to do down there. For me, it's going to be a tough move on Uhuru Kenyatta. But if you look at the presidential election results of 2022, then it's actually possible. William Ruto won the presidency in the mountain. Not because Raila Odinga lost, but because Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga never really plotted for the mountain. The 200,000 votes which made the difference would have been prevented if Uhuru and Raila were serious.
Na mimi nataka niambie President wetu Uhuru Kenyatta, tafadhali rais, tunakuomba kwa heshima, umebaki siku 8 kuja hapa Sagana State Lodge na ukuja na makaton, uchukue vitu yako utoke uende. Wachana na sisi. Wachana na sisi. Wewe rais umeita mkutano pale Kicheha. Ukaita wazee hapo. Ukasema Rigathi Gachagua atajua wewe ni rais wa Kenya. Ukatisha Moses Kuria. Ukatisha Dede Nyoro. Ukatisha Kimani Ichung'wah. Rais, mimi nakuomba. Mimi Rigathi Gachagua nimekusaidia mwaka 20. Wewe nilikutoa kwa baa, nikakuunda mpaka ukakuwa rais. Miaka hii yote nimekusaidia. Wewe umekuja kutuumiza. Umekuja umeniwekelea makesi ya uongo. Umekuja umeninyang'anya pesa yangu. Sasa baada ya kufanya hiyo yote unatisha mimi ati nitajua yeye ni rais wa Kenya. Mimi Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na kuomba nikiwa hapa Nyeri, usiue sisi vile baba yako aliua JM Kariuki. Mimi nakuomba.
So Uhuru Kenyatta is making the following moves. Number one, currently Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to revamp Jubilee Party. And he's reactivating the Jubilee grassroots network. The truth of the matter is that during the last 5 years, the Jubilee network was completely dead. You know, in the mountain, there are those people who believe in Uhuru Kenyatta. But then there's also the Jubilee, because after Ruto left Jubilee, Uhuru really never moved to consolidate Jubilee. Jubilee was just there at the national level with Uhuru Kenyatta, the party leader, David Murathe as the deputy chairperson, calling all shots. Nothing was happening on the grassroots. So Uhuru Kenyatta is currently trying to reactivate Jubilee grassroots network. That's why if you have been keen, you should have noted that currently Jubilee is very busy at their party headquarters and at the grassroots. They are trying to activate the grassroots and at the same time make sure that at the national level there's the limelight, especially at their offices. And that's why William Ruto tried really to take over that Jubilee party. By reactivating Jubilee networks, if Uhuru Kenyatta is serious, he can deny William Ruto the opportunity to steal. Raila Odinga's victory was actually stolen in the mountain. There is no way, and this is why most people believe Uhuru played Raila, there is no way the mountain could have failed to protect the votes of Raila Odinga. But you know, Uhuru Kenyatta managed the elections casually. So that's number one. Number two, you know, there is a growing rebellion in the mountain. And because of the growing rebellion in the mountain, there are pockets of demonstrations across the mountain. Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee are actually taking advantage of this rebellion and these demos. And they are taking advantage of them strategically to pass messages and information to the local masses. For example, in most of this maandamano, the subject is why walidanganywa, why they needed to have heeded to the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta. Those are the messages which are actually coming out in most of these demonstrations. And the demonstrations are also trying to portray UDA as a failed party, William Ruto as someone who caught them. The demonstrations are, the messages coming out is like they ought to have heeded to what Uhuru Kenyatta was telling them. So these demos, if they'll continue, and this is what should worry William Ruto, is the thing which is going to bring him down. The other day I saw Rigathi Gachagua in, was it in Murang'a, when he was talking about these moves by Uhuru and his allies to make William Ruto one-term president. Rigathi Gachagua responded that those guys are joking. They're wasting time and they're trying to create confusion. You see, the truth is, sometimes when you are in power, you don't see things the way people who are outside of it are seeing. I'm certain that Uhuru Kenyatta, if he genuinely lost to Raila, is not happy. As a matter of fact, even the way he has been mistreated by Ruto, you know, the issue of tax, all those things, they are taking notes. So they are taking advantages of this rebellion. And I was trying to explain to someone that the demonstrations by Nyamakema traders was actually sponsored by Kenya Kwanza or Rigathi Gachagua. You know, sometimes you create these problems, then you solve the problems. And he was like, no, the demonstrations were actually organized by Uhuru Kenyatta. And the fact that someone can think that Uhuru Kenyatta organized those demos means that they are taking advantage of them. For example, why would Uhuru Kenyatta organize a demo by Nyamakema if the same Nyamakema traders, just a few months ago, refused to listen to him? And the guy I was talking to is actually a UDA insider. So if the Nyamakema traders refused to listen to Uhuru Kenyatta, is the guy now trying to say that now the Nyamakema traders are listening to Uhuru Kenyatta? And if they are listening to Uhuru Kenyatta, it means that Uhuru Kenyatta's moves are actually working. The third strategy Uhuru Kenyatta is using is that he's taking advantage of the state of economy, which has forced Ruto to actually scale down on development projects, which means there are certain projects which Uhuru Kenyatta started in the mountain, which are now being stalled. So they are highlighting some of these stalled projects in the mountain. Like, I think this is the Mau Mau project, which Uhuru Kenyatta started at some point when Kenya Kwanza took over. It stalled, and it actually forced Kenya Kwanza leadership to go to the ground to assure Kenyans from the mountain that those projects are not going to be stalled. So the truth is, Uhuru Kenyatta ensured that by the time he was leaving, he had ensured that most of the projects in the mountain were launched. So that even if he's not there, those projects will be completed, but he will take credit for them. So William Ruto realized that some of these projects were the main reason why we overborrowed. And because Uhuru was going to take credit, he wanted to stall them. So these Uhuru Kenyatta's allies are going to the ground and they're telling people that, you see, this road was begun by Uhuru Kenyatta. This particular project was started by Uhuru Kenyatta. You know, this project was started by Uhuru Kenyatta, but now they want to stall it because Uhuru is no longer part of us. And number four, the fourth strategy, which I don't know will work, but might work for them, is that now they are also taking the advantage of Rigathi Gachagwa's isolation in Kenya Kwanza. The truth is, William Ruto is now giving Musalia Mudavadi morals in government. In UDA party, Cleophas Malala is now the main guy there, the new kid on the block. Today, Rigathi Gachagua was attending a function somewhere. And while he was attending that function, telling Kenyans how they should be treating their wives, Musalia Mudavadi was meeting with other heads of states, other fellow deputy presidents, deputy prime ministers, in some function somewhere. And I asked myself, what is William Ruto trying to do? And you know, the way the information, the videos from that Musalia Mudavadi event are being dumped on Kenyan social media pages shows you that someone somewhere is actually out to portray an image that Musalia Mudavadi is now the main guy. So these guys are taking advantage of this. And William Ruto is making even matters worse because instead of empowering Rigathi, the other day we saw Ndindi Nyoro being propelled to come up. So for me, that's how Uhuru Kenyatta is going to make a comeback. And his last strategy is that Uhuru Kenyatta is now identifying his diehards from the mountain. People who can't die with him. People who are still with him. That's why he left the like of Kanini Kega, Sabina Chege to live. He wanted to identify his real supporters, people who will stick with him. And he has already identified the people who can stick with him at the national level, and at the county level, and at the grassroots. So what they're doing right now is that they're recruiting these Uhuru Kenyatta diehards. These diehards will stand with Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know what you think, but let's wait and see. But for me, Uhuru is just playing catch up. Whether he's going to succeed, I can't tell. Maybe you could let me know whether he's going to succeed. But Uhuru Kenyatta is actually keen on making Ruto a one-term president. And how can he make William Ruto one-term president? Ensure that the mountain Raila Odinga votes are not stolen. Simple. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.